I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford.
For the stack, did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his.
Floyd Mayweather stops by and trains with Terence Crawford as Crawford prepares for his huge bout with Canelo Alvarez. Floyd admires Crawford's talent and commitment, naming him the top pound-for-pound fighter in boxing today. Their rigorous workouts highlight mutual admiration and Mayweather's belief in Crawford's power to dominate the high-stakes clash.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Canelo Alvarez's latest bout versus William Skull raised concerns for its dull pace. Both fighters combined for a shockingly low number of punches, draining excitement. Canelo's reluctance had many doubting his sharpness. It didn't resemble his former dominant self. With time catching up, questions swirl about whether he can still contend with a younger, relentless threat like Crawford.
That's a big boy. He's strong. You know, you box good. You can do this. You got this over him. You're gonna have to tighten up this. You're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you'll whoop his ass. You'll do this to him. It's never like
yes, man type.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, listen. You know, that's a dangerous fight. You know, but
that's the fight.
If it happened, you know.
Veteran fighter Nonito Donaire highlighted Crawford's footwork as one of his greatest strengths. He argued that movement might be the X factor against a pressure fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Crawford's agile steps and precise positioning give him tools to avoid danger and frustrate foes. Donaire's input added weight, coming from someone who succeeded at the sport's elite levels.
Floyd.
Congratulations, man.
Boxing personality. Showbiz The Adult questioned claims that Errol Spence Jr. was Crawford's only real victory. He pointed to other impressive wins like Shawn Porter to make his case. His main argument: Crawford's legacy is built on consistency, not one night. This view countered those critics who narrow Crawford's resume down to a single dominating performance.
But what we don't talk about is, you know, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Trainer Steve Nelson addressed the rumors suggesting Crawford should fight someone like David Benavidez. Although it sounds like a gutsy step, Nelson brushed it off as unrealistic. He explained that some matchups may seem brave but are actually risks with little reward. Team Crawford prefers legacy-defining bouts that balance ambition with strategy, not just dramatic, high-stake leaps.
After Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170. And actually, I came in at probably like I probably came in at 151 and 152.
Gotcha.
But Roy Jones is one hell of a fighter. You know, I can't get on here and hate on his skills and knock his skills. He's been through a lot in the sport of boxing, and he's done a lot for the sport of boxing.
Crawford's trainer Bomac fired back at Canelo's dismissive comments about Crawford's resume. He claimed critics ignore the dominance Crawford showed against elite opponents from past years. Names like Gamboa, Porter, and Brook were once feared. Crawford broke them down. Bomac added that Crawford never chases advantages. He just wants legacy, earned through clean, competitive battles.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, he did that. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Boxing analyst Teddy Atlas posed a strategic concern. Can Crawford move enough and remain fast to trouble Canelo? Known for cutting distance and punishing with heavy shots, Canelo demands elite movement to evade. Atlas thinks Crawford's footwork could prove crucial. The key question is whether Canelo adjusts to Crawford or whether Crawford stays elusive long enough to rack up rounds. Mayweather recently gave thoughtful takes on Crawford's upcoming challenge against Canelo Alvarez. Speaking from personal experience, Floyd urged Crawford to prepare with precision and discipline. He didn't say avoid the fight. Instead, he stressed winning would require calculation. Given Floyd's undefeated past and deep boxing intellect, his views held serious weight in the broader discussion.
How's that cool? Good life. All right, let him up. Good life. Kitchen build. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need a slant.
Crawford has met criticism directly by fully accepting the magnitude of the Canelo fight. Instead of brushing off concerns about strength or size, he addressed them head-on without making excuses. He views the test as part of greatness and trusts himself to pass it. His approach is clear. He's not just showing up to fight, he's coming to win big and quiet doubters.
Watch the right hand for the decoy.
Y'all know chess? Fisher versus Spassky? Two of the best, you understand? That's what you watch. Two of the best. Nice. That's how Star work. You know how to work. You know how to get the most out of everything. Good job, champ.
Promoter Eddie Hearn recounted a spontaneous gym visit that turned into something special. What started as a casual stop ended up being a first-hand look at Floyd and Crawford training together. Though Eddie had met Floyd before, the mood felt different this time. It included laughter, insight, and friendly energy. Fans also got to see Crawford's playful side for once.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Sparring footage shows how sharp Crawford's boxing brain truly is. Against fighters replicating Canelo's style, he throws jabs to set rhythm, maintain distance, and open windows for big punches. These aren't idle jabs. They serve real purpose. Add in his stance, switching during action, and it's clear he's planning to bring layers of strategy into the ring.
That's a fight because of the challenge. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear them now. You too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147, that weight too big. This and that. I can hear it now, and that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jermell, and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah. But in my mind, in my heart, I don't think nobody too big.
Among the highlights of training camp, Crawford's leg sessions stand out as crucial to his performance. Weighted squats and lunges anchor his explosive motion in the ring. These workouts boost his stamina and balance, helping him stay fluid while under fire. His leg work proves just how meticulous he is when it comes to his complete fight readiness.
Terence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it two different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, it was at 152 catch weight, but it had no rehydration clause. So you might as well just say it was at 154. Now, two things they have in common is that Floyd Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terence Crawford is 36, 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto, and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Crawford's training has reached a peak level of intensity as he prepares for his toughest opponent yet. Each drill, from shadowboxing to bag work, reflects his locked-in focus. Footage from his gym shows a fighter applying intelligence, not just effort. His devotion shows in how he tailors his process to face a skilled, dangerous veteran like Canelo Alvarez.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
Since early in his rise, Crawford has admired Mayweather not only as a boxer, but as a builder of greatness. That respect evolved into a real connection, with Floyd occasionally offering strategy and advice. Crawford cherishes those insights, using them to sharpen his techniques and mirror Floyd's mental sharpness. Their bond reflects ambition, mentorship, and mutual esteem.
Is tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it, and he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's gonna say, "Well, after Madrimore fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not gonna be able to handle it." I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
Reflecting on his past fight with Canelo, Floyd said he entered that night lighter, weighing roughly 151 or 152 pounds. Even with the size disadvantage, Mayweather used defensive skill and ring IQ to win decisively. His showing was a lesson in how precision and awareness can beat raw power. It's proof that he stayed unbeaten through skill rather than force.
Unpack what just went on. Steve Nelson just said, and I'm paraphrasing because you guys heard it, link will be in the description. He just told you out his own mouth, he's like, fans are saying that Crawford should fight David Benavidez or a true 168 pounder. Doesn't make sense. Bud is after legacy, and then he said, and money. So this proves why I don't want to see this particular fight like some of y'all. He just told you. So this is what I call an advanced cherry pick. Now, I know some people, you're going to start crying. The reason I say advanced, now, it's not an advanced, it's not a cherry pick in the normal sense of like, because this would be an accomplishment if Bud can defeat somebody at a higher weight class without acclimating, right? So it's not the traditional cherry pick, but it is still an advanced, or this is what I'm calling it, an advanced cherry pick, because his own teammate and friend, Steve Nelson, is telling you there's no reason for Bud to fight a true 168 pounder. He started off by saying Canelo Alvarez started off smaller, like a welterweight earlier in his career at 54, and then made his way up to 68. So that lets me know the mentality from Team Crawford is Canelo, we know he has shown signs of slippage and being a little bit older in his recent fights. Can't put away Munguia, and some other guy did, Surase.
Mayweather boldly took aim at Canelo Alvarez regarding past doping controversies, claiming bias in media coverage of such matters. Floyd believes topics like PED usage are often ignored when Canelo is involved, exposing unfair treatment. His remarks fueled conversations about fairness and integrity in boxing, prompting mixed reactions depending on where fans stood in the debate.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah. Got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
That's why Canelo's skillful too.
This meeting between two renowned boxing greats didn't escape notice. Fans and analysts quickly reacted to the encounter, sparking buzz across social platforms. The image of a future legend and a past icon training together was striking. Many saw it as symbolic, a gesture of transition or support from Floyd. But the hype wasn't only about the match. It represented legacy, learning, and a respectful nod between champions.
You know, Canelo's a stronger guy, the bigger guy, but in the fight with a guy that moves around, and if Crawford uses his skills and his legs and his technique and just his ability, I think he can win. He can win the fight in decision, as long as he doesn't get hit with those big shots from Canelo.
In a recent talk, Crawford opened up about his discussion with Floyd Mayweather. According to Crawford, Mayweather did more than offer compliments. He gave valuable tactical advice and motivating feedback. Floyd praised Crawford's skills, but also spoke candidly about the looming test against a veteran like Canelo Alvarez. Though he mentioned Canelo's experience and age, he urged Crawford to remain focused and execute. Their exchange felt sincere, practical, and centered more on readiness than admiration.
After really the Triple G fight is when we've seen the slippage on Canelo. And over the last 2 years, it's been immediately apparent. It's been apparent straight away over the last 2 years. Canelo's feet have always been slow. He's always been very slow-footed. So when people are saying, oh, it looks like his legs are slowing down, yeah, they are. They've never been quick, but now they're even slower, which is a problem. And Jim Lampley on commentary on Friday night show was saying that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his legs. It generates power and it helps with his punch resistance. Well, those legs are sliding and that power is diminishing. Canelo hasn't had a stoppage win now since he knocked out Plant in 2021. And yeah, he's dropped some of these guys, but he's not been able to step on the gas and finish them. He's not been able to go through the gears. His gas tank, you can put that into question as well. And Canelo Alvarez, come July, be 35 years old. So he is, look, Canelo's been around so long and his real prime was in his mid-20s. So we associate Canelo, mid-20s to early 30s. So we kind of associate Canelo with that. I don't want to say ever young, but you know, he is still young, just not in boxing senses. But he's been around so long, 20 years a pro, and he's been at world levels for probably 15 of those. You're going to expect some slippage. And I think in this fight, an opponent, it was very negative, yes,